Hey, and welcome. Let me also go live on YouTube. Okay, go live. Cool. Awesome. All set up. Hey, and welcome. My name is Noemi. I am the co-founder of Scalable. We are a digital marketing agency specialized in Amazon ads. Today's topic is going to be nothing else than Amazon ads. We have a dedicated 1 full hour for this session where you can submit your questions in the comment section. Also, we are streaming this both on YouTube, Instagram, as well as LinkedIn. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section here. Also, some questions have already been submitted, so those are also something that we are going to address them within the session. But just quick rundown on why the AMA session. So basically, I started 5 years ago selling on Amazon, our own brand. I learned a lot of skills, Amazon PPC being one of them. And right now, for the past 5 years since I've been doing this, I'm seeing a lot of patterns and built up a lot of reps when it comes down to Amazon ads. And today's session is dedicated for you. So I'm going to answer all your questions. We're going to prioritize beginner questions, especially just because 5 years ago I was a beginner. I did not know what to ask, how to ask, and most importantly, how to prioritize. Therefore, today's session is created for you. All right, before we're waiting just a bit so people can arrive and join, allow me to share something that was really top of mind. And this is really important, and it has to do also with advertising. So before I'm going to take your questions, I want to share something that actually just happened yesterday. Yesterday, I had the pleasure to talk with a brand. They were in the pet niche, or they are in the niche. And something that I'm noticing is that this is not only them, but also I spoke to a beauty brand yesterday, and they were we were redesigning their creatives, and it was there was no emotion between the product itself and the target audience, and I was giving it a thought and more thought today, and I realized that most brands that we are talking to nowadays, it's not anymore a problem of they don't understand that they should be advertising or they should increase their advertising budget, rather than they have a gap. It's a gap between understanding that whatever we are creating, generating, wherever we are bringing the traffic, must convert. And if it's not converting, no matter how well are we targeting our ads and our audience and how dialed in are we in targeting the correct keywords, it's not going to convert, or it's going to convert way worse than it would if you're clicking with your audience. And why am I saying this is because, especially in niches where you have to make a connection with your audience, or you could make a connection with your audience, your ICP, very easily, but you are neglecting it, or you're just putting it out for the next quarter, or you're no, it's fine, I have the same stuff on my website. Why are you not using it for the Amazon ads that you're running? And trust me, these are things that we are hearing them on a daily basis, and we have discussions with brands, letting them know that yes, it might be working for your brand on your website, but Amazon really, it's prerequisite, not anymore just an optional, to have really good creatives in place, because that is something that is going to help us also on the advertising end. Now, I was just sharing with you these few thoughts. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think? How do you see them? And most importantly, if you're running ads on your end, what do you see on your end? I'm very, very curious, because again, if I would have had this conversation 5 years ago with a brand, probably I would have told them, yeah, we are just running ads, we're just driving traffic to our listing, and people are just going to naturally buy your product. It's not anymore the case, and advertising is becoming way and way more expensive than it was last year, than it was 2 months ago, than it was, a month ago. So that's why I'm saying that the competitive advantage right now, it's not anymore that you're going to update creatives to really resonate with your audience that you're selling to, but that is a must. That is something that already brands who have been established and in the market for years, they understand. it's marketing, and that's why it's really important for you to understand that it's a marketing psychology behind it. It's not anymore we are just running ads, we're just running traffic. Is, do we make sure that whoever was redirected to check out your product, are they going to convert or not? Let me know if that helped. All right, so I'm going to start right away with questions. We are already 5 minutes in. Hey, and welcome. Just quick intro again. My name is Noemi. I'm the co-founder of Scale, where we are mainly helping brands between 6 and 7 figures scale on Amazon successfully via Amazon ads. Mostly Amazon ads. We are also starting now helping them with the creative aspect. So that's why I also was sharing from the creative side, because it was a need that was not fulfilled. Our brands needed it. So also we're helping on that then. However, today's session is going to be basically Amazon PPC beginner questions, beginner friendly, and those are the ones that I'm going to prioritize and answer them all. If you have any questions that are business related, hiring, firing, SOP systems, processes, whatsoever is right now in your mind, even prioritization, because I know that for me, especially last year, it was a big, the word of the year, it was focus. And just because I had that word of the year to help me prioritize what to prioritize and what is important, it redirected my attention. Most people don't even have something like that. So that's why I'm letting you know we're going to first prioritize Amazon ad related questions. But if you have any question that is not yet ad related but is business related, more than happy to answer. Also letting you know that this is actually a public, it's a public stream. So if you just wondered here, like, what is going on? What is this gal talking about? Hey, we're streaming from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and these are my Tuesday, 1 p.m. EST time, AMA sessions, whenever someone who is interested in Amazon ads and learning more are going to join, ask their questions, and I'm going to answer them. Also, great. All right, so questions are pouring in. Brilliant. Let me ask the very first one. How do I create my very first Amazon PPC campaign the right way? Love the question, and let me tell you why I love your question. You're asking, how would you create your Amazon PPC campaign the right way? Now, this tells me that you want to start right from the beginning. And if you want to start right from the beginning, allow me to answer in a way that 5 years ago I couldn't answer, just because 5 years ago I was your tips, tactics, hacks girl. That's like, this is the way. Model whatever I'm doing, you're going to be successful. After 5 years of doing this, day in, day out, I got humbled by how much I don't know, and by how many mistakes I made, and by how much money did I actually create it by learning from those mistakes. So if you want to set up something the right way, in this case, your Amazon PPC campaigns, you want to set them up the right way, especially the very first campaign. Zoom out for clarity and ask, where are you on the journey? When it comes down to Amazon ads, the way how I like to strategize is understanding who you are and what is your skill set right now. So you can be a junior. Basically, this is an SOP follower. Or think of yourself, if you're going to create your very first ad, you just watched a YouTube video, or you just purchased a course, and you're literally step by step following someone walking you through, and you're executing. For this level, the junior level, you need no judgment. You are going to rely your judgment on, or put your trust in, the course or in the video that you learned, right? Very important, stay with me. The second part is going to be, whenever you're going to do this day in, day out and get some knowledge under your belt, you're going to become an intermediate PPC advertiser. Now, an intermediate advertiser, what they are going to be able to do is quickly set up those campaigns, but also make sense of, okay, last time this is what happened, because that happened. Now this time I'm going to change, and I'm going to do something more different, right? So you already have some knowledge, but right now you're still not the best strategy. You are just like still dabbling. You're still like looking into, what should I do? And there's a third level, which is the strategist, right? And this is an advanced level. I'm proud to say that I am a strategist, and that is based on my 5 years of experience. It's not my last year of experience. It's not my 2 months of experience. It's 5 years of putting in the reps. Think of me as your gym girl or gym bro, who is going to the gym, and they are going to work out, do the reps, always, every day. 365, and then one more year and one more year. And why I'm sharing this with you, and keep in mind, I'm still coming from a humble point of view. I'm not saying how good am I. I'm just like realizing that if now I am at this level, the level that I am going to answer your question is from a strategist point of view. So when you're telling me that you want to set up your campaigns the right way, I'm going to ask you, define the right way. What do you mean by the right way? Because clearly you would set up your Amazon PPC campaigns to get more sales, otherwise, like, why are you setting them up? But that is not the end all be all. That is just the goal of the campaign is to generate additional revenue. Great. So what I want to make sure is that you're not going to sum up false positives. By false positives, I mean that you started the campaign is very successful, it's bringing you hundreds of orders just right out of the bat, and like, oh, I did it. What you're going to end up with is like not having the experience of not being successful previously. So you would believe that just because you set up the one campaign that is super successful, now you know how to do it, right? And that is a dangerous path, because that is what happened to me 5 years ago when I started. I was like, oh, I figured it out. And then months in, I'm like, I'm the best, But then whenever it came to troubleshooting, because keep in mind that just because you created a campaign, great, a month can run well. But then this next month is like everything is broken and you don't know how to fix it. So that is, again, a false positive for you to believe that first that you set it up, it's going to work well, and then you know how to do things. When in fact, you're going to learn just mistakes through accumulating more and more knowledge. Let me know if that answered your question. I know that you were asking of how to technically set it up. Keep in mind that these sessions are, I think that we have at least 300 videos on it. I never answered this way, and I strategically and purposefully answered your question this way. If you want to hear the short answer on how to do it and where to click and what to do, feel free to check out my other videos, but certainly hope that this was more helpful than me just like, do this, do that, do this, and then there you go. All right, so that was the question. Next question is, how does Amazon PPC work together with influencer or live marketing? So how does Amazon PPC work together with influencer or live marketing? Let me know, what is my knowledge about influencer marketing? And especially when it comes down to Amazon, there is a platform on Amazon called Creator Connection, where you can set up specific campaigns for your product and send it out to influencers. And they are going to and create content for your product, and then that way you can basically help your Amazon PPC campaigns. But if it comes down to Amazon PPC working together with influencer marketing, the influencer marketing side, I would still have it as organic. I would not count towards it as an advertising expense. I would count towards it as marketing budget for creator, like for influencer marketing rather than. And then the way how I would still look into, like what is my outcome is that in case that, for example, let's say that you're not changing anything for 1 month, you're not changing anything in the campaigns when it comes down to structure, when it comes down to the amount of campaigns that you're creating or the budget you're investing. Example, you're spending $10,000 this month, you're spending $10,000 next month on ads, and there's no much big or like huge change on the Amazon ads side. Sorry, the way how I would look into how do the two work is the moment that you would start Amazon influencer marketing and see how sales are picking up, we would consider those organic sales. So the question is, because you have a link to track what are the sales from that and from the connection, a creator connections point of view, you would then track, okay, this is how much was my Amazon PPC spend for the month, and then this is how much was my spend, and also my income from the influencer marketing stuff. And this is how I would look at them. I would not put them together, because honestly, that is going to give you, again, false positive of something working, but it might not. Let me know if that helped. Okay, amazing. Amazing questions are really cool. So I have also experience regarding Amazon. This is coming from LinkedIn, by the way. I have also experience regarding Amazon. Can you please Tori explained to me that how may I suggest my services to find clients to introduce my services. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I'm not sure what is your experience when it comes down to Amazon ads. What I'm seeing so far, because I'm also a service provider, and what I can share with you is it really comes down to what do you sell. And I'm not referring to your services. I'm referring to you, Hafiz, who you are. What are your qualities? What are your negatives? And the reason why I'm saying this is because most of the time what I'm seeing is that whenever I'm talking to people, our industry is overwhelmed with, let me run your ads. I'm going to do it for $1,000. And then the other one is coming, no, let me run your ads. I'm going to do it for $800. And then the third person is coming, no, let me run your ads. I'm going to do it for $500 plus I'm going to give you a bonus. And then what is going to happen is that it's similar to Amazon when competitors are just coming in and there's a price war. So that's something that I'm seeing on our end in the service side that is happening more and more, and especially since for the past 5 years that I've been as a seller in Amazon, and for the past almost 3 to 4 years since we've been running the agency. So really like real talk with you. What are you really good at? That is your skill set. Either you're really good at strategy, either you're really good at optimization, either you're really good at creatives, either you're really good at talking to people, either you're really good at strategizing for them, either you're really good at setting goals and staying accountable to that and then reporting on them. So which are your current skill sets that you can sell them on? Because what I'm seeing so far is that all the deals, if I'm thinking back, all the deals that closed for clients that I really love and brands that I really love working with, they bought me. They bought me, they bought my brain, they bought my system, they bought whoever I am right here talking to you, they didn't buy the sales pitch. The sales pitch of like, this is how we're doing it, this is how amazing we are. Everyone is going to have the same spiel. So here I'm just asking you, just zoom out for clarity and ask, what am I really good at? Because if you're really good at optimization, but nothing else, you cannot charge for a strategist point of view, right? If you're really good at strategy, if you're asking for an optimization pricing, people are just going to look weird at you like, are you sure that is $200 your services, And again, I realize that you might be from a different country and so on, and we are charging US prices, and you might have the advantage to, hey, I can actually do it for cheaper for you. But still, that is my go-to. That is my answer to how would you approach this, especially now in 2026. Sell people on who you are and what are your strengths and what are not your strengths, because that is the thing that they are going to fall in love with, look for to delivering. And if you are just like solopreneur, great. If you're going to ever decide to hire 1-2 people, they are going to look for the same qualities in them as well. Okay, let me know if that helped. Okay. And so I edit your question. Amazing. Cool. So next question is, how do I pause multiple? Did I answer this already? No, I did not. How do I pause multiple PPC campaign at once using bulk sheets? What you would do in this case, you would download your bulk sheets, so your bulk files, and it doesn't really matter the time range. It can be like one day, or a day ago, or like today's day. Would be doing where it says, how do I pause? Where it says enabled, you would change that to pause. And then on the column that you have to update, you would just make sure that, I think this is the second column, you would just make sure that there you're just going to write update, because if you're not going to do that, the change that you made is not going to go through. So do it easy. Next question. Okay, this is a really good one. I would love to answer this one. So the question is, and again, this comes from LinkedIn. What are the ads you'll suggest for a new brand to scale the brand without making more ad spend? I would I would suggest you to not look at ads as making more ad spend. I would suggest you to understand that marketing is an expense. And marketing is an expense of your P&L, like profit and loss spreadsheet. Either you're going to spend money on marketing, either you're going to spend time through word of mouth on marketing, you're going to spend something on it. And when it comes down to you want to scale, like not only that you want to start ads, but you want to scale the brand, really important is going to be that having a hypothesis, it's okay, it's great. But just because you had a hypothesis, you have to realize that that's a hypothesis, that I am going to be able to create more demand, to increase more market share, to create more sales with these ads or not, you know? So this is why I'm saying that we have to be cognizant of the fact that we can grow a brand, but it takes money to make money. So you cannot see it like, how can I spend the least amount possible to make the most? By not growing enough. That's kind of my answer. Let me know if that helped. Okay, what is the best PPC setup for a brand new Amazon FBA account? When it comes down to ad spend and where would we spend, we would allocate at least 70 to 80% to sponsor product ads, because those are the ad types that we're seeing that we have most control on. The rest would go to sponsor brand and sponsor display ads. And the way how we would split them up, we would really look into, do I have a competitive advantage when it comes down to sponsor brand ads? Are they cheaper for me or not than sponsor display? And then based on that, we would see, okay, how much should we invest to it? I know that there's like people who love to give these rules of like 10%, 5%, 15%, like so on. I believe that we gathered enough data to like humble ourselves and realize that if you are able to answer that right away, it means that you probably did not experience a lot or not enough on real life scenarios. So what I would advise there is 70% that is realistic to spend on sponsored product ads. Whenever we took over or we managed brands where ad spend went more than 50% to sponsor brand ads, they had very, very hard time to ranking. Even if the sponsor brand ads technically were cheaper because the CPC was cheaper, it was way more helpful for us to run more sponsored product ads than the other ad types. Let me know if that helped. How should broad match PPC campaigns be structured? Broad match PPC campaigns, and also for you guys who are totally new and don't really understand what broad match is. Broad match basically is going to attract the most amount of searches and clicks on things that might be very similar to whatever you are advertising for, a keyword, right? And the way how I would set broad match up is I would not allow it to have the highest bid ever, just because I have the hardest time controlling it because it's going to gather lots of data. I see it very similar as it would be an auto campaign. Even if you're splitting the targeting groups, it's still going to gather a lot of data. So allow me to tell you how we're doing it scale wave in order to have the most control possible. When it comes down to broad matches, for example, what we would do is we would never have more than 1 to 2 keywords within the same routes that we are strategically going to run in broad match. Now, this is especially for campaigns where we want to rank and we want to rank for specific routes. However, when it comes down to broad match, a general rule of thumb is that it's part of our discovery strategy, and it's part of this discovery strategy because broad match is going to bring you additional search terms that you might have not thought of, or might show you in placements that are cheaper for you than if you would have run them in exact match ads. Okay. So one more question coming through from Hafiz. Can we please explain? Can you please explain? Can we run async campaign on your own async, and what are the benefits? Yes. So again, in Scaleway, we have 5 strategies. Protect is the first one of them, and that is exactly what you're talking about. What you are going to do is you're going to run ads for your own products and your own brand name. The way how you would set this up, you're creating your campaign, you're adding your own product, and then you're adding either your whole catalog, either one specific product, and that way you're going to show up on your own listing. Now, this is going to work especially well if you have multiple products, right? And then the reasoning behind this is that you're going to get like protection when it comes down to brand, like strategic way of thinking of this. This is how you're defending your brand from other competitors to show up on your listing, or at least you're going to show up first on your listing, even if other competitors might be targeting your listings, but might be showing up maybe on the first place. At least you're showing up the second place within your listing. This is really important, and we had lots of back and forths with many advertisers who consider that this is not a right strategy, and whenever they were running tests on it, they were saying that it's not the case for them. I'm here to explain that our second main strategy, it is conquer, which means that we are going to target all those brands who are not running this type of ads. And if you're not running ads for your own branded terms or your asins, and we have a competitive advantage, I'm going to be the first one who's going to run ads on the product. So that's why I'm saying that it's a protection. You need insurance, not when the accident happened, but beforehand. Think of it as insurance money. Okay, cool. Is using Fiverr for Amazon PPC management a smart move? Love it. So actually, I posted on LinkedIn about this topic, about using Fiverr for Amazon PPC is a smart move or not. And let me, while I did answer this question, I think last week, I think this is worth mentioning something. It's really important. The way I'm seeing right now, Fiverr or any platform that would allow you to spend less on something that you want to achieve, let's put it that way, so it's broad and you can understand it and you can put it in different topics, right? The way how you would do that is mostly Fiverr, it comes from the $5. So the concept is that you would pay $5 or the less, or at least the less amount as possible. I think that's the correct way to say it. Or you would pay the less amount as possible for someone to do a task for you. Now, really important is that what I'm seeing, especially with small brands or smaller brands, is that they are going to opt into Upwork, Fiverr, and so on, which again, they're great. And you should go there if that is something that it's within your budget and that's something that you should afford. And, you do you make your choice, you're going to be responsible for it. What I'm seeing on my end is that the common thing that I'm seeing with smaller brands we are discussing with is that they are going to think small. So whoever is going to hire someone from Fiverr, probably, and whenever I am on Fiverr and I was looking for professionals for, I don't know, running my Facebook ads or running my cold email campaigns or so on, and when I saw that they are charging $2,000 to $3,000, I'm like, I might be considering this person. We in the agency sometimes are not that amount specifically for like certain services, so which made me think that actually Fiverr could be a good place for you, but really it comes down to how much experience does the person has, and then where are you right now in the journey? Because keep in mind, if you're a small business owner, what I'm seeing so far always happening again and again with small business owners is that they are going to have a small mindset. The difference between a small business owner and a big business owner, it's not the time that they invest within their business, is who they hire within their business, right? Because if you are thinking that you want to hire someone who's taking over your ads, managing your ads, and help you through, you're not even thinking of how can this person 5x my business next quarter or 10x my business, because the skill set of that person is not the same as you could expect the skill set of someone who's you're paying $100, $200, $500. And I'm just here to tell you based on my experience, right? Based on the people that I hired personally on Fiverr, there's a reason why people are asking more on hourly rate or on a project rate, because they have more experience, therefore they can up their prices. Let me know if that helped, but I believe that it's really, really important topic, because it's not the platform, it's how their service is structured around whatever their offering is. Next question: how can I lower ACOS fast without killing sales? This is such a good question, and it comes up so often, and I love it. So how would you do that? Basically, your question is, how can I lower ACOS fast without killing sales? The way how you would do that, first off, you would look into things that are not anymore within the strategy that you have for even this month for the campaigns and for the ads that you're running, but they are still there. So anything that is not bringing any more sales, anything that is just there and it's just noise, and maybe it's going to spend 1 to 2 cents even. I mean, technically you cannot spend less than 5 cents. So spending 5 cents at least, and then everything that is noise, really, those would be the best ways for us whenever we are auditing an account to look at, and pausing those would help you immediately lower your ACOS without optimizing everything. So I would always look into what is my biggest lever that it takes least amount of effort on my end, that if I'm going to implement it, it's going to bring me it's going to help me achieve the outcome that I want. Other way, simply just go through your campaign, see especially if you have multiple products within one campaign, which are the products that are not performing at all. So just spending money, those are the first ones that you would be pausing. Okay, next question. How do I identify the best performing keywords for my meds? Again, how do I identify the best performing keyword for my Amazon PPC ads? You could download your search term reports and then look through whatever worked for you. And then whatever worked for you, those are things that we would be adding them into exact campaigns, or depending on the strategy, if you want to find more similar keywords to that, we might be adding them in discovering campaigns. Next question, what's different about running Amazon PPC in Australia? I don't have hands-on experience on Australia, but I believe it's the same thing as running in any other marketplace that is not US. Maybe what could be different is the ad types that you're going to be able to run. Usually what we're seeing on our end is we've ran ads on multiple marketplaces. That is the only limitation that might happen. Let me know if that helps. Totally random, but very welcome. Comment: AI helps with keywords and local marketing. 100% it does. Also, it helps if you're going to run for those exact keywords campaigns, both on Amazon and also off Amazon. Appreciate you chiming in. So the next question is, what does a solid Amazon PPC strategy actually look like? I love the solid word. What does a solid Amazon PPC strategy actually look like? That is the question. Knowing where the money goes, where it comes from, how much it costs you, and how much it produces. More solid than that and more easier than that, I cannot explain. I was called out of 100 people who liked and commented on my recent post about this. I was called out by 1 or 2 people who were like, why do you simplify this so much? It's not so simple. Like, yeah, I know it's not so simple. After 5 years, I realized, but those are the only metrics that I'm really looking at. And if I don't understand something, or if I need troubleshooting, I'm going to look forward of like, what is going on? So, but a good strategy for you is knowing where you go, how are you going to go there, and which are the tools and when you're going to use them, honestly. And then based on that, you would add ads. You would layer in ads, where the spend goes, where does sales come from, what is your ACOS. So right now, are you losing money? Are you making money? And then how many orders do you have? Next question, what quick optimizations can make PPC more profitable in a short time? I just answered this question partially in how can I lower fast ACOS, but allow me to repeat. So the easiest way for you is going to be pause everything that is not within the strategy anymore and buy what is within the strategy anymore. If you're auditing someone else's account, you will assume that you're going to bring your own strategy. So unless they told you exactly that, hey, don't touch this campaign because that is its purpose, assume that everything is outside of strategy, right? So those are the things that you can be pausing right away, especially if you're seeing that they are not generating any income. Second thing, what you can do is look everything that is generating income, but at very high ACOS, so above 100 ACOS, 200 ACOS, and especially those that are bringing 1 to 2 sales. Those are going to be my next to go to. Careful there, because what I noticed is that is might be one or two of them, but if you have a big account with 100 campaigns like that, those are going to end up in 100 orders. So the moment that you're going to pause them right away, you're going to make a big break in the account. So just be careful on the amount of how many of those campaigns are there. And then the next, as I was saying, look at if the campaign has multiple products, and especially if the products are not producing anything, then can be paused. Or if they are producing but a very high ACOS, that's also you can pause them and you can leave only the products that are profitably producing sales for you. That would be the easiest way how to do so. Next question. Yeah, so Hafiz, you were asking if this is going to be running more. So what these are our Amazon AMA, Ask Me Anything sessions, and the topic is Amazon PPC, so Amazon ads, and we're running these on every Tuesday from 1 p.m. EST. And if you're following me on LinkedIn, because I see that you're coming from LinkedIn, you will see that we're going to post these on a weekly basis, even 3 times per week. So you cannot miss them. Feel free to join next time as well. Next question is, how do I export my ads? Amazon Ads data for analysis or reporting. You would first need to know what do you want to export, but basically Amazon allows you to export a lot of data. So usually there's either a download button, either export. You will see next to it, right? In some instances, for example, for brand analytics, especially when it comes down to demographics and so on, you might need to generate the data, but I'm assuming that is not the one that you're asking for. However, there are usually 3 ways. Either you're generating the reports yourself and then downloading them. Either there's a easy, like it says export button that you can press on, and either it's going to be more hidden, depends on the specifics, that data that you're looking for. So I was giving, for example, brand analytics is something that Amazon right now just hiding it very well, especially when it comes down to the demographics, who's buying your product. Those can all be generated and requested. Next question is, what step should I take to become an Amazon PPC expert? First, find a really good way for you to learn. Either you're a visual learner, either you are learning while doing, either you like to read. So find the way how you learn the fastest way, and then based on that, find someone whose content you really enjoy, the way how they are describing you things, the way how they are explaining you things, the way how they relate to you, the way how they talk, how fast, how smooth, how intelligent, how confusing. Those are going to be the things that are going to make you stay with that person or not. Really important, choose only one of those people. Giving you a quick example now. Actually, most people don't know, but I am going to expect. I'm expecting, and we're going to have baby Zara very, very soon. So based on that, what I did on my end, I would treat exactly the same way the process with Amazon ads is just a different topic. But right now, what was really important for me is to learn as much as possible when it comes down to pregnancy, when it comes down to delivery, when it comes down, postpartum. So learning all those steps. And what I noticed is that previously, and by previously, I mean, even 6 months ago, even a year ago, I was so scattered. Whenever I was looking for information, I had these 10 or 20 people that I would go to, and then even more information and even more. And what I noticed is that not only that I became super overwhelmed when it comes down to information that is scattered all over the place that I found, but I became uninterested of the topic that was really top of mind, which made me believe that more people you're listening to, more doubts you're going to have, and less trust are you going to have towards if it works or not. So actually, for this step that I'm just sharing with you and with my journey, when it comes down to a topic that is totally unrelated, yet it's exactly the same principle, is that find the one person who you really connect with. For example, if you enjoy these sessions with me, go to my YouTube channel or go to my LinkedIn channel, depending on how you learn, and go through all my posts and go through all my videos, because I'm going to answer all the questions, especially if you're a beginner. I'm going to, and even intermediate, even advanced, because I'm sharing advanced stuff as well, not just beginner stuff, Even if you're at that level, just go through all the topics and see which are the things that you're really interested in, because all these questions are coming out. Like, yes, they're Amazon PPC, that's the main topic, but they're all relevant to advertising, and they might be answering exactly the question that you did not know how to ask, or you did not know even to think of. Highly recommending. So I can sum it up: find the one person that is really helpful for you, that you can resonate with, and to go through all their content. Do not go to anything else or anyone else. Reason for that is because very quickly you're going to get oversaturated with lots of information, right? And then the next thing is that you're not going to actually learn. So let me know if that helped. Hopefully it did. This is what I learned, and it works really well for me, and both for you it's going to. Okay. Next question, again, comes from LinkedIn. It's asking, what is an Amazon brand manager skill scope in the USA? I would ask, if you want to become an Amazon brand manager, look up which are the skills they would need. But I would even more ask on, whenever someone is going to post a job description, what are they looking for? Reason why I'm telling you this is because I'm not sure if you started from the beginning of the episode to watch through, but the junior, intermediate, and advanced level are always there. So a brand manager can become a junior manager, which means that you would be handled SOPs to follow through. You're still a brand manager. You're still overseeing the totality of how does the brand work. So not only Amazon ads, but creatives, inventory, and so on and so forth. So everything that it's covered side, right? But if you're in an intermediate brand manager, you might need other skills. You might need to look over junior hires, junior employees. You might need to work on SOPs, so better the systems, the processes currently in place. Or if you're an advanced, then you might be requested to know how to strategize for the next 3 months, 6 months for the account. So this is why I'm saying it, that it's really important to know the level rather than the role. The role is just overseeing some specific stuff. Clear example for you, and this is also something that I just got clarity not very long ago, and I'm pushing it now through all the departments we have. On really all departments have the junior, the intermediate, and advanced level. Is because whenever someone is going to hire you, let's say that they are hiring a brand manager, they have specific certain expectations. They are going to list those down in the job description. Now, if you're not meeting at least those things, I would say it's going to be risky, just because they are already expecting you to excel in all those things. I'm highly likely that you're going to be handed multiple other things or multiple other responsibilities that are not within the job description. So be sure to ask exactly what are they looking for and what they are not looking for. Because, it's really frustrating whenever you think that you found a good job and it's like, this is never going to bring me what I want to, or the position that I want to have. And you're just like 1 month in, it's like, oh, it's not going to work. Let me know if that helped. All right. Next question. Can wholesale sellers successfully run PPC on Amazon? 100% definitely. When it comes down to wholesale, what is going to be just a bit different from private label is the margins, the profit margins that you have. So you can advertise for the same way as you would if you are running an ads for your own brand. It's just your profit margins per product. It might be lower. So therefore you will have to allocate or be more conscious when it comes down to how much do you spend on ads. I think that's the only thing. Next question is, let me drink first. What time is it? Oh, 45 minutes. I love these sessions. They just pass by so quickly. Anyhow, after the sessions, I'm usually exhausted, just letting you know. So right now, I'm drinking my electrolytes powered drink. It's not really helping. Maybe. Okay, cool. Next question. How do I focus my ads on top of page placements? There are certain placement modifiers when it comes down to especially sponsored product ads. And then what you would be doing is, a good rule of thumb would be, first, I would increase my bids. And then based on those bids, I would be interested on where do I show up. Next, if I see that I'm not showing up at all where I want to show up, even with increased bids, I would also increase my placement modifiers. Keep in mind something super sneaky that Amazon is doing, and what I noticed on my end is, even if a keyword is highly relevant to your product and you're not ranking organically for it, no matter how high would you push your CPCs and also your placement modifiers, you're still not going to show up on top of search. And this is something that I had lots of back and forth. Actually, our project coordinator, who's amazing, had lots of back and forth on this. But even Amazon is saying that, no, your bids are not high enough. Actually, what's happening is that if you're not organically ranking for a specific keyword, and if that keyword is not within your listing, what can happen is that even if your bid is $20, $50, in this case, really, we tried with $50 bid and still we did not show up top on search, and it was 100% placement share or 200%, something like that. We still did not show up of search and we paid $20 per one click. So that's why I'm saying that, you can technically show up on that placement, top of search placement, with these two things. Increase your bid. If bid is not bringing there, then increase your placement modifier. But sometimes it's not going to be the case. And Amazon's canned answer is that increase your bids, which is not the case. It's really SEO. Okay, next question. How can PPC help me? How can PPC help drive organic sales through better listings? Oh, great question. And this is also the way how I started today's session. If you had a chance, go back to that section, to that portion. It's really between minute 0, 5, something like that. What we're seeing so far is creatives are going to have a huge impact on whether the traffic that you're bringing to a listing is going to convert or not. And as I was explaining, even now, we are highly specialized in Amazon ads, but without good creatives, the brands that we are serving, we are just making them injustice, and we cannot deliver something that, it's not anymore Amazon ads related. So that's why I'm saying that when we are talking about better listings, first things to look at, besides fixing inventory, besides ensuring that you have a 4+ rating, besides all that you have an FBA, not FBM listing, maybe, especially if people are buying FBA, do make sure that you have really good pictures in place that are going to connect with your audience and are speaking directly to your audience. If you don't have that, unfortunately, PPC is not going to help you a lot with driving organic sales through better listings. Okay, cool. People are joining still. Amazing. Cool. All right, so we have 9 more minutes to go. How do I choose the right PPC keywords without wasting budget? We have to differentiate it, what wasting budget means and what advertising means. Wasting budget, the way how we are seeing it, is spending money on things that you see clearly that they don't convert, yet you're still pushing budget towards. That is how we define wasting budget. We are not defining wasting budget as spending money towards something that it works, it's expensive, but on the long run is going to become cheaper for us, either through optimization, either through different placements. So it's really important that you understand what wasting budget means, is because most of the time people are going to associate non-converting spend and to converting spend that costs a lot of money. So not making that connection that there are two different things rather than the one, it's going to make you ask the wrong question and apply wrong strategy for the account. Okay. And live video. Instagram is not letting me to have longer videos than 1 hour, which sucks. But hey, we're playing by their rules because we're using the platform. Okay, cool. Next question. How can Helium 10 be used for PPC keyword research? Helium 10 has a good tool called Cerebro. It has multiple good tools, but Cerebro is our main tool, basically, that we are using. And basically, Cerebro is going to help you see the keywords that your ASIN is ranking for, and even more importantly, what your competitors are ranking for. Now, when it comes down to prioritization, the way how I would do keyword research when it comes down to even Helium 10, first I would look into whatever already my listing is and which are the things that right now I'm not emphasizing enough in my PPC, right? So if I'm ranking organically on position 20 for a certain keyword and I have lots of orders with that keyword, but I'm not running ads for it, then that is going to be added within its own campaign. If it comes down to looking up competitors, where they are and where are they ranked and which are the keywords that they are using, this would be the second strategy where I'm looking up specifically competitors. What are the keywords that they are ranking for? Let me know if that helped. Next question was, what does a proper Amazon PPC audit include? Ooh, love the question. Check the link below to show you how to conclude audits and like what does an audit mean, proper audit. A proper audit should be more than this is how much spend it goes that it's not converting, Yeah, sometimes it can be really that you're spending money on things that you should not, aka you're wasting budget. But most of the time I see that the most helpful Amazon audits are not only for you as the brand, but is most helpful for the one auditing your account, because they would know what are the leverage points that they can use right away in your account to get you to your goal, either to increase sales, either to decrease spend that is not producing any income, either to get a better understanding on how to restructure where the spend goes. So when someone is going to offer you an audit, I believe a red flag that you should be looking into is how they overpromise, or whenever they are guaranteeing something, I would run. And when I'm saying about guaranteeing is like, by this much we can grow you right away and so on and so forth, unless they are showing you with data that actually they can save you X amount of money. And then when down to audits, how would a proper Amazon PPC audit would look like is, and honestly, with my experience so far, I would want to know if that person gets my business, of where does my ads are right now, and where I want to go, and how does my current structure can help me with their knowledge and skill set to go to the next level. I would not treat it anymore as a I caught it, I caught that, I caught that moment. Reason for that is because actually we lost one of the brands this way. Uh, for us, it was obvious that we can save. I think on one campaign only, it was like $7,000. So it was ridiculous. They were spending so much money, and they never turned back. Like they did not even return to us to, take over the account and so on and manage the account. But what I learned in that scenario is that I saw the problem right away, but they were looking on, answer me, how can you grow my brand? Learned it the hard way, right? We lost the client actually this way. But that is, or a potential client, because they were not yet clients. But this is really important for you to understand, what does the brand owner is looking for? Are they looking for increasing sales? Because then the PPC audit should be about increasing sales, and how would you do it, and what are the things that you would be doing. Is it to become more profitable? Because then you should be focusing on, how can I make this audit as helpful as possible for them, right? So if they want to implement it themselves, they can. If they want me on board to implement it, I can. But really look at what is the goal of it, because right now you're just not going to showcase them like flashy demo of your skill set, but you're going to show them, you're going to answer them exactly to the problem that they currently have. This was very in-depth, but I think this is really important, especially if you're a brand and looking for someone to manage your ads. By the way, feel free to book a free strategy call where we can conduct this type of audits for you. It's really, really important, because especially nowadays, it's like everyone is offering you a free audit, but what is a free audit? So it's really important that it's something that's helpful for you. 3 more minutes to go, few more questions left. I'm kind of tired. I think I'm going to wrap it up earlier, if it's okay. What are the most effective PPC strategies sellers should know? That's a good way to end it. So, most important PPC strategies that we are applying in ScaleWave successfully so far for 6 and 7 figure brands are the following. There are 5 strategies. I'm calling them evergreen strategies. First one is to protect your own brand, your own branded keywords, and your own listings. Second one is to conquer. Here we're going to target our competitors' listings where we have a competitive advantage. Third one is called rank, where we're going to look at specific keywords or specific products that are working well for us, and we're going to make sure that we're going to create exact match campaigns for those. Fourth one, it's called dominate. This is more of a placement modifier play, where we see a clear placement works really well for us, and we're going to push as much as possible within the goal range. So if it's for profitability, we're not going to push too high, but we are going to push and make sure that we're going to keep position for that particular keyword. And then the fifth one is going to be discover. This is anything that is not protect, conquer, rank, or the other one. Oh man, I just forgot it. Need type of campaigns. So basically, those are going to be everything that is broad match, phrase match, auto campaigns, category targetings, broad modified campaigns. Let me know if that helped, but that is the way how we would strategize. Okay, I'm going to call it a day. Thank you so much for watching. Again, this was streamed from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I'm Noemi Bolojan. I'm the co-founder of ScaleWave. We are specialized in Amazon advertising. Thanks so much for sticking with me. Thanks so much for submitting your questions. As always, we're going to be back here next Tuesday at 1 p.m. EST. Till then, be good, be strong, enjoy life, and yeah. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. See you next time. Bye.